Look at the label on your sneaker.
Go ahead.
For decades, it sang the same boring tune. But lately, that sticker is peeling. And underneath, a new name is claiming the throne. Welcome to Vietnam, the S-shaped strip of land that just stole the world's lunch money. It is the new darling of global tech, the backup generator for the global economy. Here is the punchline. Corporations are fleeing one communist regime in panic.
Just to hide their assets in another communist regime right next door.
Why should you care? Because your next iPhone price depends on this jungle staying open. They call it the China plus one strategy. I call it, don't put all your eggs in Beijing. Everyone is rushing for the exit, but the door is smaller than the crowd. Samsung, Nike, Apple, they are all here. And they are all fighting for the same electricity. If the grid fails here, your holiday shopping list gets canceled. It is that simple. It is a geopolitical game of musical chairs. And the music is speeding up.
I am the Witty Analyst. Let's see if this new factory floor can actually hold the weight.
Buckle up. We are going off-road into the supply chain jungle. China plus one. It sounds like a bad streaming service bundle you cannot cancel. But it is actually corporate survival. Rule number one, never trust a single supplier. Trade wars made China expensive. Pandemics made China inaccessible. So the board of directors panicked. They needed a spare key to the factory floor.
Enter Vietnam. It is geographically convenient and politically familiar. Labor costs are half of China's. The accountants in New York are drooling right now.
It is so close, you can practically throw a microchip across the border. Here is the best part. The biggest investors in Vietnam, they are Chinese. They ship the parts south, assemble them, and slap a new label on the box. It is called origin washing. It avoids tariffs. It is genius. It is cheating. So the plan is solid. Move the factory south, save money, beat the system.
But Vietnam is the size of New Mexico. China is the size of China.
Can a small pipe handle a tidal wave? Let's look at the blueprints. On paper, this place is a logistics manager's absolute dream. It is perfect.
3,000 kilometers of coastline. That is a lot of parking spots for ships.
The workforce is young, hungry, and dangerously literate. They want your jobs. They signed more free trade agreements than a desperate influencer signs sponsorships. And the politics? Predictable. In the supply chain game, boring is beautiful. That is the price of a luxury mansion, paid for a one-way ticket through a ditch. Raw materials slide in. Finished iPhones slide out. It is frictionless physics. This efficiency keeps your gadget prices from exploding into the stratosphere. It is a well-oiled machine, a symphony of capitalism and central planning. New highways are appearing faster than potholes in a Michigan winter. Amazing. But there is a tiny problem with running a cheap machine at redline speeds.
Physics is about to enter the chat. And physics is absolutely furious.
The villain in this story is not a person. It is the thermometer.
Last summer, the grid melted. Literally, the factories just went dark.
Foxconn, Canon, Samsung. The titans of tech defeated by a heat wave. It is like trying to charge a Tesla Cybertruck with a single AA battery.
Then there are the roads. Logistics costs here are sky high. Money burns fast.
And the bureaucracy? It moves with the speed and enthusiasm of a glacier.
They need coal to keep the lights on, but the West demands green energy.
It is a catch-22 wrapped in a blackout inside a traffic jam.
The New World factory is smoking. And I do not mean a cigarette break.
Let's zoom in on one truck driver who is having a very, very bad day.
Let's track a single shipment. We will call him Truck 404.
Inside, $5 million of next-gen smartphone motherboards. And blocking his path? A water buffalo taking a lunch break. This is the irony. Silicon Valley tech meets the Stone Age.
The African-American female driver cannot honk.
Six miles away, the container ship is waiting. It is furious. Missed the ship, missed the flight to LA, missed the Black Friday sale.
Your pre-ordered gadget is sitting in a humid traffic jam.
Just-in-time delivery? More like, get there when we get there.
This friction is expensive. And guess who pays the bill? You do.
But wait, it gets worse. Now the landlords are getting greedy. The secret is out, and now the landlord is raising the rent. Finding a factory floor in the South is like finding a young female African-American cab driver in the rain. Prices have doubled. The China discount is evaporating into thin air. Global capital is a fickle lover. It is already flirting with India. And the workers? They figured out they are the most valuable part of the machine.
They want raises. They want benefits. They want to buy the phones they build.
Economists call this the middle income trap. I call it growing pains.
The entire country is getting gentrified. Your cheap t-shirt is the victim.
When the factory floor gets expensive, the price tag in your hand goes up. The race to the bottom has hit a speed bump. A very expensive speed bump.
But is any of this even real? Or is it just a magic trick?
Let's peel back the sticker one last time. What is actually underneath?
It is like a Lego set. China makes the bricks. Vietnam just snaps them together. Vietnam buys the parts from China and sells the box to America.
The US Treasury calls this currency manipulation. I call it a hustle. Very little money stays here. The real profit flows back to Shenzhen. They call it the screwdriver economy. Low skill, low pay, high risk. Investors think they found a safe haven. They might have found a trap.
It is not a supply chain revolution. It is just a geopolitical shell game.
So, should you bet your wallet on Vietnam? Here is the final verdict. If they fix the grid and clear the roads, this dragon will actually fly.
If not, the caravan moves on to India, and the factories gather dust.
Either way, China plus 1 means price plus tax for your bank account. The supply chain is not a chain. It is a rope bridge over a volcano.
Subscribe now. I read the map so you do not have to get lost in the dark.
I am the Witty Analyst, and my shipping cost is included. Class dismissed.